My name is Susan Hughes. I'm an artist using a lot of different media, and my new exhibition opening in CCA is called Stones from a Gentle Place. In Gallery 1 there is a video of animated hands doing the breaststroke, and that comes out of my own experience of swimming in phosphorescence. Phosphorescence is microscopic plankton in the sea which self-ignites when it's agitated at certain times of the year, summer, the end of the summer for example, and you can only see it at night. It's a very magical experience, quite psychedelic. When I swam in phosphorescence, I started to think about how people, thousands of years ago would have digested, I suppose, those experiences of phosphorescence or the northern lights, general natural phenomena. And I started to look at folklore in Ireland, down in the folklore collection down in Dublin, and in a collection of fairy tales from Donegal. And there definitely is evidence of natural phenomena creating stories that become mythological in our history. The title of the show is a title of fairy tale from an anthology of fairy legends from Donegal, collected in 1951 by Sean O'Haughy from the area of Teelan. The title was just so beautiful, and the word gentle is a word that's used in Irish history to represent a place that has got fairies, which is not always a positive thing, it's often a negative thing. So I just love the use of the word gentle and the kind of confusion around the word. I also have posters, signs I suppose, that have been written by one of the last sign writers in Belfast called John McCandless. Those posters are on neon card, which ties in with my research into fluorescent geology, but also the traditional colours that are used in sign writing in Belfast, in butchers, in shoe shops, in markets, is neon. On that are words or phrases that I found in the Folklore Archive in Dublin. Some of them are from stories that I found, and some of them are like categorizations in the drawers. There's categorizations, for example, supernatural light and other manifestations. That's one of the sections that you can find stories about supernatural light and other manifestations. I have a light box which has the words "eyes like cats" on it, and that is words from a conversation I had with a man in Donegal called Jean Owen O'Curran. He is a farmer, basket weaver, storyteller, and he talked about phosphorescence in the bogs and talked about how people nowadays don't really experience it because they don't walk across the land anymore, and it's like we can't see in the dark the way we used to. And he said people back in when I was young, they had eyes like cats. They could see in the dark, they could see things that we don't notice anymore. I have a room which is quite interactive, and it's kind of a room full of lots of different things, and one of those things is examples of actual fluorescent rock that just look dull in daylight, but when they have a UV lamp on them, you can see little flecks of fluorescent geology within them. I have the real artifact there, but then I have representations of the rocks that I filmed down in the museum in Dublin, which are much more dramatic and vibrant coloured. And I also have quartz stones from the beach, which I found evidence of quartz stones being significant in folklore in Donegal. My father is a geologist. He has these geological maps are just so visual and beautiful with the strata of rocks and geology. The land where the fairy tales come from, where I've been learning music, and they flow all the way up to, you know, Antrim and County Down, where I am from. I have a table. It's a table from my own studio, and on it are lots of books and transcripts from interviews and photocopies from the fairy tale book. And I really invite people to look through these and get an idea of the richness of this material, especially the interview transcripts. I've been interviewing all kinds of people talking about their own experiences of natural phenomena in the landscape, or their own research, you know, Irish language terms for these, or their own cultural references to the fluorescent colours, all kinds of things. So I really hope people will interact with these and look through the books.
When I don't be out much now, if you're out on a frosty night, like if you're walking through the mountain road, it's still, it never goes away, it's always there.
I have a film called May the Hills and the Heights Have You. That is a film that began with a phone conversation with Jean Owen O'Curran, a storyteller from Donegal. He phoned me in response to a letter that I sent him, asking him about Irish language terms for phosphorescence and natural phenomena, and in relation to fairy tales. That goes into him talking about a particular fairy tale from the area that he lives in, called Anya Croc Anya. And then I have his neighbour, she reads it in Irish, and all of the audio is backed with very still images of the landscape of Teelan, where a particular fairy tale anthology comes from.
Spinning, rays of the sun into a golden thread.
In Gallery 2, there are multiple light boxes all around the walls, and these all are from my own archive that I've created, I suppose, of swimming in the sea, taking photos on 35mm with big underwater cameras. There's something so beautiful about 35mm photographs that are accidentally, I've gone a bit wrong or slightly out of focus, especially now when we're so used to the crispness of digital photography. So these photographs become kind of otherworldly, especially when they're combined with an audio piece that I've made. You can kind of submit to the sort of membrane of human world and other world, and underwater and overwater, and the kind of in-between bit. So I hope as well, because of the size, that people will be drawn towards them, and kind of each one is like a little world in itself. Where we have natural light, we have diffused the natural light that's coming into the space as well, and there in Gallery 1 I have got one light box that only can really be viewed or interacted with during daylight. The darkness that we have now with the short days will slowly change as the exhibition progresses. I hope that people appreciate the link to the land, this beautiful link to the land through the language and through storytelling, and a kind of oral tradition and passing on of knowledge about the land. I hope that they can get that richness.